Ion quiz number 8. If you've been watching all of these videos, one of the things that you're going to begin to see here is that the videos are going to get a lot shorter now, because we've actually learned, or we should have learned, all of the basic rules: the bi, prefix, the ate, the ite, the hypo, the per, the different charges and the different columns whenever they're monatomic, whenever they end in IDE, all that good stuff. And so now what's going to be happening for the most part is I'll just be introducing the new ions, and there's just going to be some memorization necessary. So this week we have phosphate, PO4 -3. Remember how I promised you that the ATEs were not always 3s and -1s. This is another example of that. Biphosphate does follow the rule that you would expect. Bi, slap an H on the front, charge goes up by 1. Phosphite, PO3 -3, just what you would expect, because it's phosphate with just the ending change from 8 to ite, so you lose an O. This one's a little bit interesting, the dihydrogen phosphate. People get intimidated by that at first, but really it's not so bad. If you notice, you'll just have the phosphate here, which is what we have here, so you would expect to have a PO4 -3, which sort of we start with that, but it's not a -3, it's a -1. Well, the reason for that is that we have 2 positive 1s added to it, 2 hydrogens, therefore we add not 1 but 2 to the charge because we've added 2 hydrogens, thus giving us the name dihydrogen. In other words, 2 hydrogens phosphate. Because there are 2 of the hydrogens rather than just 1, we don't say bi anymore, we just say the word hydrogen. Then finally we have oxalate, and oxalate is one that people struggle with a lot. It is the only ion on our entire sheet that is written in the form to have a subscript 2 on the letter C. So that might help you remember. If you ever see C2, then that means you got oxalate, C2-ox. C2-ox, C2-ox, IC2-ox. So, and then it has 4 O's and has a -2 charge. It's just one of those you have to memorize. Here, though, if you slap an H in front of an oxalate, you get bioxalate. But because bioxalate just kind of, at some point, we decided to slap the N in there. Rolls off the tongue a little bit more naturally, and that's where that N comes from. So binoxalate is it's the same. It's just oxalate with the BI in front of it. So that is Ion Quiz week number 8.